Hey guys, how you doing? It's Juan with Liberty Graphic Designs. Today we're going to be making a Teflon sheet to go over your heat press that can wrap your heat press around. That way you don't have to be messing with this thing every single time you're heat pressing a shirt. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be making those bags right now. Okay, so on all my heat presses, I actually buy the, I believe they call them covers or bags. Some people call them bag. It actually goes over your heat press or your heat press pattern. And this thing will stay on your heat press all the time. That way you don't have to apply this Teflon sheet on top of your garments. It'll be there all the time. So on this heat press, the new one that I just bought, not like I just bought, it's like 3 months old. I didn't buy those deals, but I usually have Teflon sheets laying around. I usually buy a bunch of these, and I decided to make some. Okay, so this is what you're gonna need to make these covers. Obviously, you're gonna need the Teflon sheet. You're gonna need 2 of them, one for the top and one for the bottom. I like to keep one on the top, one on the bottom. It just makes it a lot easier to slide the shirts in and out if you have them on the bottom. That's if you're threading your shirts. Also, by having a Teflon sheet on top and the bottom, it makes cleanup a lot easier if you happen to mess up or something got stuck on the heat press. You can just wipe it off real quick. Another thing you're gonna need is neoprene. That's what this stuff is right here. And I'm gonna put a description. I'm gonna put a link in the description below. So if you guys want to grab some of this neoprene, you can get it. You can also use regular t-shirt material. Neoprene is a little more, little stronger, and but you don't have to use. If you don't want to get this neoprene, you don't have to use it. What this is gonna be done for or used for, this is gonna be on top of the press, and this is gonna be holding the Teflon sheet tight. You're gonna need a T-square or a ruler so you can cut your sheets correctly, because we're gonna have to measure the sheets a little wider than 16 by 20 or however big your press is. You're gonna need a serger machine. If you don't have a serger, you can use a regular sewing machine, but if you do have a serger, this is a lot better. I'm gonna use this one. This is a house serger. I have other ones, but this is the one that I'm gonna be using today. And what I did is I went on I just gonna Google some colorful artwork, because this is what I want to see on my actual press. So I just downloaded some artwork, printed it, and that's this. I'm gonna sublimate the neoprene so my press looks a little better. That's it. So first thing you're gonna do, again, this one right here, I used an Epson F570. That's why you see these prints are really long, really big. This is actually 24 inches by 10 wide. And I don't know if you can see it on video, but you can probably see those lines. That's where I'm gonna be cutting. So let me take you over to the press, and I'm gonna show you how to measure it so you can get your measurements. Okay, so this is my my press, right? My heat press. Right now it's actually on, so I have a swing away. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna measure your plan, the bottom one. You're gonna measure the bottom one, and even though this is a 16 by 20, I know you cannot see it on video, but it's actually showing 16 and a quarter. So, and you wanna add a 1/4 of an inch on each side for the seam allowance. And then you're gonna measure from back to front, and it's giving me almost 21 and a half. I'm sorry, 20 and a half. So I'm gonna cut it at 21. That's what this is gonna be. Now, the top one, the actual heating pattern, that one is at 16. I'm not gonna put the tape there because it's plastic and the heat, the press is on right now. I don't want to melt it. That one is actually a 16 by 19. So 16 by 20. So 16 this way, 20 this way. That's gonna be my measurement, plus a 1/4 of an inch for the seam allowance, which is gonna be 16 and a half by 20.5. Now the top, this is where all the presses are gonna bury. See how mine kind of curves like that? Your press might not be like this. Your press might be square, but the measurement is gonna be the same. So you're gonna measure from the edge of the press. I don't know how well you can see, but measuring from the edge of the press all the way to the other side, and it's giving me 19 inches. And this one, you just want to find the center. So once you find the center, you want to go about 1.5 inches this way on the center. And that's hot. So for example, here's the center, right? You're gonna measure 1.5 inches this way, and then the same on this side. So once you find the center, and the reason for that is, let me grab a piece of paper. Once you cut the neoprene is actually going to go at an angle like that. We want the other neoprene to actually overlap like that. So see, it's overlapping right here. That's going to make sure that you have a nice closure here. And once you find that center, if you want me to tell you that actual piece, this is actually 10 inches this way, and this way is going to be 12 inches. So if you have a 16 by 20 press, you cut a triangle that is 10 inches this way and 12 inches this way, and that'll give you the piece that's gonna go on top. And then you sew everything together. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut the Teflon sheet. This one's already cut, and this one of them is supposed to be 16.5, but that's what this one is. I know you cannot see it on video, but this one is 16.5 by 20.5. So this one is gonna be for my upper. This is the one that's going to be right against the heat platen. So this is going to be my bottom one, and this one is going to get cut at 17 by 21, because if you remember, for some reason my bottom platen, it actually shows to be a little bigger than the upper one. So this is where the T-square or the ruler is going to come in handy. Now, the place that I buy these Teflon sheets from, they just cut them off of a big roll, and they don't cut them straight. So that's why I said you're going to need a T-square. But if you don't have a T-square, don't worry. You can use a regular ruler. Move that stuff out of the way. So one of the things that you're going to have to make sure is that your Teflon sheet is actually straight. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a straight side. And if I don't have one, then I'm going to create one. So like for example, this one right here, I'm going to cut a small piece so I can get a nice straight edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting from that straight one. This is why I said a T-square, because a T-square, I'm going to line up my Teflon sheet and cut it. And remember, this one is 21 inches. So right now I'm just trying to have it nice and straight, nice and square, and then I'll worry about the about it being the size that I need later. So there you go. So now I got both of these edges are nice and square at a 90-degree angle. So now I'm gonna move this back. I am so sorry. I know you cannot see that good on video. But I'm going to measure 21 inches. And I'm going to cut a slit on it. Bring it this way. Sorry guys, I don't have a lot of room in here. So I usually don't use this machine. I use another one. I use an industrial one. But I didn't want to use the industrial. I wanted to use this one just so I can show you guys. That's why I'm using that one. So now what I'm doing is lining up my Teflon sheet with that slit that I did at 21 inches. And because I have a T-square, now I know this side is going to be nice and straight. Then, if you guys are wondering what I'm using an Alpha knife. And I put a link in a description of all the stuff that I'm using, like this Alpha knife, the Teflon sheets, all that stuff. We got to measure this one. So measure this one at 17 inches. Actually, let me make a bigger cut. And this will be my final cut. And then what I'm doing is I'm just lining up my T-square with the slit that I did, making sure that this way the Teflon sheet is nice and straight, and cut it. And that's it. So this one right here is going to be the bottom of the press. So notice how the other one is actually a darker color. Make sure that if you don't have one that is different, more than likely you're not going to have one that are, that are different colors. In this case, I do. So, but if you don't, make sure that you mark which one is which one, because some presses, as you saw mine, it's not the same size. Again, you don't have to use neoprene. You can use a regular t-shirt. If you want to sublimate it, like I am going to be sublimating mine, in that case, use a 100% polyester. That way it can be sublimated. But you don't have to. I keep saying that, right? Okay, so if you want to see the sublimation process, it's very, very simple. Just going to place the neoprene right there. Grab my piece of paper, just in case if you're wondering. I'm using, this one is adhesive paper, sublimation paper, Epson sublimation paper, and Epson ink with the Epson F570 printer. And I'm going to be sublimating 380 degrees for 55 seconds. That's it. And adhesive paper, what it does, it does what it says, right? It adheres to the garment. That way you don't get any ghosting. Okay, so I got all those pieces cut. So now all we gotta do is sew them together. But let me show you real quick what I meant when I was telling you to measure everything. And make sure I grab the right one. Yeah, right here. And remember when I was measuring, I said make sure you measure 1.5 inches in so they overlap. So right now they're overlapping. That way when you go and thread this in the machine, the machine will be actually held, or this will be held on the machine. I know it's really hard for you to see it on the video because it's so far away, but there's an overlap right here. So now let me set this one up so we can sew it on this one. I was actually thinking of doing the actual other serger, but we're gonna use this one. Let me use this one real quick, because if you notice this edge right here, that edge is gonna be live all the time. So this is where the Teflon sheet is gonna be sewn to, this corner, but this one is gonna be on there right all the time. So I'm gonna put a border on this one just so it doesn't unravel. I don't think it'll unravel, but I'm gonna put one just in case. There you go. So now I just put a border on it. That way it won't unravel. Not that it will. I don't think it'll unravel, but just to be on the safe side. I like to use this machine better. It's faster. But the border that it does is a lot smaller. Okay, so let's start sewing these things together. Just make sure you got the right side. Otherwise, you're gonna sew them on there backwards. So I'm gonna start with this one, and one of the things is that this material right here, neoprene, stretches a lot, so you have to be careful not to stretch it. So I'm kind of leaning towards using this machine instead of this one, because this one was giving me some trouble when it came to the overlapping, because you'll see it in a little bit. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead with this one, and actually, let's try this one. If it doesn't work, we'll switch over to this other one. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just going to use this machine. It's just working a lot better. I don't have any problems on the overlap. This one won't even sew the overlap. So we're going to scratch that one. And we're going to use this one right here instead. Again, make sure you use the correct one. You don't want to use the wrong one. I'm talking about this right here because, you know, you have a right and a left side. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. Actually, see if it fits. Like I said, it might fit a little too big because of the different machine. But you know what? It actually fixes perfect. Haha. Well, look at that. It actually worked just fine. Let me slide it in there. This is... Yeah, that actually worked better. Make sure the... So there you go. So the purpose for this is when you slide a shirt, it always gets caught because of the neoprene that the machine has. So whenever you're sliding the shirt, they always get caught. And see how easy it is now? See, I can slide the shirt. Actually, it's getting cut at the bottom. But see that? And if I want to slide it out, look at that. It just slides by itself. Now, for those of you that don't get the point, let me remove this. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So now, you notice how easy it was for me to slide the shirt. Now, if I want to slide it, see how it gets caught? See, if I want to slide it, it doesn't slide. So, and watch. Now, if I want to take it off, I mean, I'm moving the whole thing, and it won't come off. So, with this thing in there now, I won't have that problem. Now you're probably gonna ask, why didn't you just buy it? Well, this thing is $40. So there you go. Let's do the other one. Yeah, that one is kind of stained. So that's it. Let's do the top one now. So there you go. The cover's already on it. I mean, it fits perfectly. It actually fits better than what I thought it was gonna fit. Usually the ones that you buy are usually kind of loose. This one is like super tight. It's like very, very tight. I had to wait. You guys didn't see me put it on there because the press was really hot. So I had to wait. I turned it off, and then I had to wait till it cooled down enough to where I can put it on there without burning myself. But it's on there. And as you can see, there's one at the bottom and then the one on top. And the reason why I put one on the bottom on the plan is because if I happen to get something on the press, like for example, if I'm sublimating and I happen to stain the bottom, I can clean it up real easy. Just with soapy water or even alcohol. And the top is so I don't have to be putting a Teflon sheet, because you know usually we're grabbing Teflon sheets, you know, whenever we're doing anything, we'll grab the Teflon sheet, put it on top, and then press it. So this way it'll eliminate this step. All I gotta do is just swing it over, you know, press it, and that's it. So that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and then subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you want to be notified whenever I upload new videos, ding the bell so you're notified. Thank you. If you have any questions, please, you know, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, if you have any pointers, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. It was a pleasure like always, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless you, and I will see you later. Bye-bye now.